Hi, this is Beverly's Kitchen, and today we are going to can raw hamburger. We got our hamburger right here, as you can see. You can also do meatloaf. You can add your favorite meatloaf recipe, but I have already done a lot of meatloaf, and I just want to do some plain hamburger. So when we want to do things that are like tacos or stuff where you want to add your own spices to it at the time, we're just going to have some raw hamburger. So I just want to go over real quick some of the items for all you new people who have never canned before. You do want to go into your canning books. You do want to look at all the instructions first before you start. One of the main things you do need is a pressure cooker. And this is the pressure cooker right here. Okay, you need to have that in order to can meat. Okay, we are going to use it at 10 pounds, and we are going to cook quarts. These are the quart bottles, which I have sterilized. These are actually brand new, so I just didn't have to overly sterilize them. I just cleaned them out with soap and water, threw them in the oven at 350 until they got nice and hot and sterilized. Okay. Okay, so I have the lids in this warm water. You don't want to boil the water because that could crack the seal, but you do want to get the seals, little red ring around the rubber seals, you do want to get them a little bit soft so that they'll have a good seal when you put the lids on. Okay, so this is the pressure cooker. You have to read for the particular one that you have how much water to put in. Mine takes 3 quarts, okay, and then you'll have this, which you do need to put in on the bottom, okay. That separates the jars from the bottom of the pot, because if you don't do that, they can break. So you want to really make sure you have that in there. I also add a little bit of white vinegar to my water because I do have hard water, and as you can see, it is starting to turn a little bit because I did a few times without it. So now I am making sure that I do put the vinegar in there. Okay, this is the lid. This is the one particular to mine. You have to want to check and make sure that everything's intact, that you can see through the hole here, and make sure that you can see light. You can see the light. Okay. Mine does not have a gauge on it. It has something that rocks on top when you hit the poundage that you want to use. Okay, which I prefer better because the gauges, you have to check yearly and get them service to make sure that they are working correctly at the right poundage, that the gauge is working right. With this one, you just throw it on, and when it gets to the poundage that you need, it starts rocking, so you know. Okay, so I got my water starting to get warm. This hamburger, I like using the 80-20 fat. Some people use 73 because it's cheaper. However, I just kind of feel like it all ends up in just grease, and you get more meat product if you use lower fat meat. But that's up to you. You can do whatever you want. Okay, so now we are going to can the meat in the quart jars, and we're going to put this funnel in on top, and what that does is it keeps the top rim from getting dirty, and that would end up causing the bottle to not seal well. So we do want to put this on here, and when you are doing the hamburger, you want to start putting it in, and you want to make sure you take your time to get it all, as many air pockets as you can out. Okay, so you put some meat in, and then you can take a spoon and kind of push it. Okay, looks like I got that. And just add more meat. You only want to fill it to the bottom of the rim right here, because you do need to leave room for the grease. Just make sure we get nice and packed in there. Okay, take it out. I leave a little indentation in the middle, and that can help with any of the grease as well. Okay, so once you pack your meat in, you want to take a clean cloth, and you do want to go around the rim. You want to make sure you get that nice and clean. You don't want any particles on that, because that will prevent the lid from sealing, possibly. Okay, the next thing is we're going to use this little nifty-difty tool that you can buy in Walmart or any place. And what it is, it has a magnet on the end. And you take your lid. Hopefully one, yeah, get one. There you go. There's the lid. And then you place it on top. And then what you do is you take your screw lid down, and you screw it on, but you don't want to put it on super tight. You just till it stops, then that's perfect. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do the rest of them, and then we will come back. Okay, so you do want to, again, check. You'll get instructions that come with your pressure cooker, so you do want to check what their instructions are. We do want to bring this up to a boil and get it cooking and get the steam coming out. So I usually put it about, 3/4 of the way to start. Okay, and so we're going to go ahead and do that. It takes a few minutes, and we'll come back when we're ready to put the pressure on. Okay. One last thing before I go, though. Once you start noticing the steam coming out, you do want to wait 10 minutes. And I will show you when the steam's coming out. We'll come back on and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay? Okay, so you can see the steam coming up through it. You want to let that go for 10 minutes before you put your cap on. Okay, so we have let it steam for 10 minutes. And now we are going to put the weight on. I'll do that. And now what we're going to do is it's going to take a while for it to start rocking. When it starts rocking, and you'll definitely hear it, that is when you want to keep it at that rock, okay? A lot of times what I'll do is I'll turn it down, maybe just a little bit less heat, but not much. This also right here, this means that it is sealed, okay, from the pressure. And pretty soon, when it gets done, what's going to happen is when you can take the lid off, is when that will go down, okay? We are going to cook these again at 10 pounds. They were quart jars. We're going to do 90 minutes, which is an hour and a half, once it starts rocking, okay? So you have to wait for it to hit the rocking, and then you will start your counting of the 90 minutes, okay? Okay, so this is what it looks like when it starts rocking. So it is at the 10 pounds of pressure at this point. You want to keep it rocking like that for 90 minutes, for an hour and a half. Okay, so it's been 90 minutes, so we're going to turn off the heat. We're going to take it off the heat, and we're just going to let it cool until this goes down. You never, ever, ever want to open it or even take this off until it's totally cooled off, because you could end up getting hurt really bad from the steam. Okay, so as you can see, this little button has dropped, and so it should be safe to take this off. Okay, I'll put that to the side, and now we're just going to open it. Whenever you do open it, you want to make sure that you lift the lid towards you, so the steam coming out is not going to hit you in the face. Okay. Alright, so we have our jars. This is a tool that you can buy in Walmart or any other store that sells canning goods. And we just put this in here, hook it, Pick it out, see how it's boiling. That's good. And these were, I have to remember, these were the meatloafs right here. Put them all together. And then move this one over. This was the hamburger. Okay, and we will just leave them until they seal. You'll hear them pop. They should seal shortly. You want to leave them on your counter for at least 24 to 48 hours before you move them. And they'll be boiling and be hot for a while. So that's how you can meatloaf and hamburger. It's not hard at all. Should last up to 4 or 5 years. Okay, so this is what they'll look like after they start, the fat starts coagulating. I actually have one here from March 13th, which is about 1.5 years ago. I was going to open. Let's see if we can get this open. Okay. And if you look in right there, that's what it is. Okay, I'm going to take it out. I'm going to heat it up, and then we're going to taste it. Okay, so this is our meatloaf that we took out. We did have a little bit of difficulty getting it out. If that happens, you know what? Just mush it back together into a nice shape and put it in the oven, warm it up, put some ketchup on top. And we're going to try it. Let the end hurt. Take a little taste of it. It's really good. This is Beverly's Kitchen signing out. Happy canning.